Welcome back to Conan. We've located the princess in here with the giant dangerous snake. And we're in a bit of trouble. We only have 4 turns to pull this off. We have to rescue the princess, get her off the board, off one of the exit points, which is not going to be the simplest thing. So let's take a look at our turn order, and then we're going to get to our hero start phase. All right, so we're beginning turn number 5. And remember, we have 8 turns to pull this off. So we have 4 turns left. I don't know if we can do it. All right, we'll go to our heroes, and they're going to get into their start phase, which is moving the crystals, which I've already done, and they're going to choose a stance now. All right, Shavadas has to choose a stance. He only has 1 crystal here. I think he's going to go on the defensive or the cautious. That's going to allow him to move 5 crystals back in here, which is pretty good, gearing him up, I guess, for next turn. Let's go over to Hadrathis. Hadrathis in a similar situation. He's really going to have to go on the cautious stance as well to get some crystals back to his active area. Now, he does still have Mitra's Halo in effect, so he always has +2 blocking chance, and he took the 1 damage last time, so that kind of nerfs one of his crystals for the rest of the scenario. So there that is. Up last, Conan. All right, Conan also in a similar situation. It's going to be a very uneventful hero turn, because he is also going to go into the cautious stance, moving 5 crystals, 2, 4, 5 over into his getting ready area. Now, he does have the shaman's head with him, which causes his encumbrance to go up from 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if you look here on this little indicator here, if his encumbrance is 8 or greater, he has -1 on his free movement. If it's 10 or more, he'll have -2. So I have to spend a crystal for movement every time. We have to get the shaman's head off the board and win the game. And keeping in mind, when a hero leaves the board with either the head or the princess, he cannot return. So he's basically gone from the scenario, leaving only the other heroes to complete the rest of the mission or the quest objective. So very quickly then, we're going to go take a look at the overview of the board. The heroes are basically all on the defensive right now. They cannot really take any active actions except re-rolling dice and using defense. All right, so taking a look at the board, we have Conan up here in the shaman's tent or hut with the shaman's head. He's not really near any enemies. We have Shavadas here with a hyena in his zone. Giant snake, of course, guarding the princess. Probably not going to move. We have our wizard over here in this hut with the 2 blue Pict warriors. And he has his protective halo, deflecting 2 damage every time he gets attacked. Well, very quickly, we're going to go over to the Overlord's board, and we're going to see what the Overlord player is going to do this turn. So the Overlord player, to win the scenario, just has to wait till the end of turn 8, and if the heroes have not gotten the princess and the shaman's head off the board, the Overlord player will win. So it's in the Overlord's interest right now to just use as much stalling tactics as possible. But of course, on his turn, he gets to take 5 crystals and put them back into his active area. It only costs him 1 to activate the giant snake, but because the giant snake's protecting the princess, I think he's not going to activate him. The purple colored Pict warriors only cost 2 to activate. Now remember, we can get rid of this token by spending a crystal permanently out of the game, but we're just going to leave it there. And we also have the red Pict hunters costing 4. And I think the Overlord is going to do this turn. He's going to spend 2 crystals. He's just going to activate the purple Pict warriors, and we're going to go to the board, and they're going to move. They can move 2, and they have 2 defense. Just so you know. Right, so the Pict warriors are up here. They can move 2 spaces, so we're going to have this one go 1, 2, and I think we're also going to have this one go 1 and 2. So they're kind of bunching up in here, which may or may not be a good thing, because remember, our wizard does have the lightning spell, so that might be a little bit dangerous. But the wizard has to get somewhere that has line of sight. If the wizard just goes here, this does not have line of sight. because it passes through this hut, so we won't be able to attack there. So the Overlord not too concerned about the wizard casting that spell, though maybe he should be. But the Overlord not too worried because he's got the giant snake guarding the princess. So I'm just going to zoom out. And unfortunately, that was an extremely quick episode. But tomorrow's episode, I am sure, will be much longer because all three of our heroes are going to go on the offensive. So let's just zoom out and take a one last look, overview of the board and kind of where we stand at the end of turn 5. All right, so at the end of turn 5, once again, we have Conan with the shaman's head, the giant snake guarding the princess. Shavadas here with the hyena, they're just eyeing each other up, not doing much. And our wizard still has his defensive halo, and that's the way it is. Shavadas has 5 crystals in his active area. So does Hadrathis, and Conan has 7. But in the next episode, they are going to be going on the offensive, so there will be plenty of activity happening next time. So this was a very quick, very uneventful episode. So if it was kind of boring for you, apologize. But tomorrow, look out, because we're going to have lots of activity. And remember, this is the end of turn 5. Basically, the heroes have 3 turns left to rescue the princess, get her off the board, also take the shaman's head and get it off the board. And how you exit the board is you have to get to one of these spawn points, spend 1 extra movement to actually leave the board. So not as simple as it sounds. And I don't know if we're going to pull this off as Conan and his pals. So we're going to have to find out. So join me next time for the next episode. So thanks for your subscriptions, your comments, your likes. Very much appreciated. Join me tomorrow for the continuation of Conan. We are in the clutches of the Picts.